Hey everyone, welcome back to another iiRcade Gamedaze. I'm your host, Michael, producer here at iiRcade. And of course, today is Friday. Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome to the chat. I see you all there, already popping a little bit. Today, of course, it's Friday. Let's talk about games, right? So we released Knights and Guns today, which was scheduled, of course, too. We talked about it on Tuesday. We announced it Tuesday, and we released it today. So that's a brand new game. If you like shooting, Upward especially, right? It's a brand new modern game. We also released Dunos today, too. If you wanted more of a classic shooter, Dunos is there for you today, too. And then, let's see, last week we had Round Guard. Last week we had UN Defense Force, Earth Joker. So there's a lot of things going on. First things first, let's kick it off. Oh, King Creole, of course, too, Casey. Everybody wish Dominic a happy birthday. If you see Dominic or you're talking to Dominic in chat, it's King Creole's birthday. So give him a good shout out on there. Let's see. In case you missed yesterday's announcement as well, too, finalized with MFL currently. So MFL, if you didn't catch it yesterday, you haven't watched it yet, or you didn't get an email, it's only people who pre-ordered the cabinets for MFL already got an email yesterday. So that'll give you all the info you need on your order information. So we're going to go ahead and release the cabinets even without the game. The game is indefinitely on hold currently until we can figure out the issues that are plaguing it currently. But the cabinets still, we're going to go ahead and we've decided to do a limited run of those. So anybody who's pre-ordered, as well as if you want to still order a Mutant Football League cab, you can until October 1st. So next Friday, well, this coming Friday, not today, but next Friday, that is the end date. That's the absolute hard cap, 5 p.m. CST, Central Standard Time, at October 1st. So next Friday, 5 p.m. our time in Chicago. That's it. We're cutting orders off then. So if you're trying to get a Mutant Football League cab, go ahead and order now. If you've already ordered, if you've already done the pre-ordering, you don't have to email us or anything like that too if you want to keep your order. But again, remember that these aren't printed yet. These aren't manufactured fully. So it's going to take us a little while to manufacture them and then to ship them over, get them from the warehouse, process the order fully, and then ship it out to you as well too. So remember that it takes time. It's probably not going to be here until maybe end of this year at the earliest. So if you do want to switch, we are honoring the sale price that you might have pre-ordered at for MFL. So if you did pre-order the MFL cabinet and you do want to go ahead and switch to get your cabinet a heck of a lot sooner, that's a much better option to me. But if you really like the cab, of course, you can stay with it. But yes, we are allowing you to switch the orders. Go ahead and do that if you'd like to. You just have to contact us at contact@iiRcade.com. If you want to switch your order, you should have received an email there yesterday too explaining all this as well if you didn't catch the live stream, if you already pre-ordered an MFL cab. But those of you who didn't tune in and didn't already pre-order an MFL cab, if you do want a Mutant Football League cab, it is limited run only. It is only the orders that we get. We're going to fulfill those, and then after that, it's cut off until we don't really know when. Cool. So that's the deal on that. Any questions we can talk about during Q&A as well too. But yeah, that's it. So let's go ahead and kick into the games, of course, right? So Knights and Guns came out today, and I've actually got it right behind me, even though it's going to be weird with green screen, I'm sure. Yeah. So Knights and Guns, in case you haven't checked it out yet or seen any of the trailers or anything like that too, you've been dead to us a little bit. Knights and Guns is an upward shooting two-player game. So all you can do is shoot up. You can shoot upward, you can jump around, you can dash, you got to reload your weapon. So you can play as single player, or you can also do two-player in both the campaign mode, the endless mode, as well as, I forget what the other mode is actually. But yeah, so it's a fun, gorgeous looking game too. The art style is amazing. The sound is fantastic. The audio just kicks you in the butt. It's fantastic. It's overall a great game. We're so happy to have it brought over to the system, especially since it literally just released on the only other console would be Switch 2 weeks ago. So yeah, it's a brand new game. It's brought to you by Valtoro Games. So let's go ahead into gameplay a little bit. I can show you how it's running on my kit right now. Let me go ahead and share my screen. There we go. Add that to stream. Let's actually switch places. Or I'll actually, you know what? Let's full screen this. There we go. All right, so this is Knights and Guns. So I'm paused right now. I've already loaded up a level. This is actually endless mode. So endless mode is what's going to get you more coins, basically, for the campaign mode. So in campaign, if you start getting stuck and you need more dough, basically, right? More schmeckles, then here you go. This is how you do it. It's endless mode. As you can see all the options that I got, but here we go. You can only shoot upward at any point. You're gonna pop these aliens. Wow, already hit. You see in the top left there on my screen is what I have a certain amount of bullets to. Reload. I can also reload on the fly if I need to. Dash. Throw grenades. Terrible right now. So this game is sort of depending on what weapon you're using as well, by the way. This is an auto-firing game, so if you want to just press and hold A, there's definitely certain guns. This one included right now, too. I'm actually holding A at the moment. So if you are looking for an auto-shooter game kind of thing, too, this would be it. I've already died. I'm doing fantastic. Res going off. Res. I've actually picked up a laser beam. You can see the charge going down up top. Never actually use it. Wow, I'm doing horrible. Yes, in case you didn't catch that, I did just use my dash to actually muscle my way through enemies. So there's another way to play this. A lot of different gameplay elements. There's 20, 30 different weapons, sounds right. So many bosses, there's multiple levels, tons of maps. You can hear my soundtrack going right now, there we go. So the level I'm on right now isn't necessarily the most interesting one in this game. A lot different though whenever you get into the boss fights and things. But yeah. So this is Knights and Guns. In case you haven't checked it out, just came out today, brand new. I'm back. Welcome. That's definitely the first game that I wanted to show you. But yeah, we can talk about Knights and Guns a little bit too. Who's actually tried it so far? I haven't seen. Raise your hand in the chat if you've already played Knights and Guns. I know some of you have because I think I saw some posts earlier. All right. Yes, rare cabs. Gordon's already by. There we go. Now I can see some. Okay, cool. But yeah, so check it out. Let me know how you like it. Give me some feedback. We like it. Baltoro Games did a fantastic job on this game, in case you didn't know. So on top of Knights and Guns, of course, Andrew Dunos as well, coming at you today. So you classic retro lovers that you've been asking for more games, of course, like this too. This one's for you. That's why I released it today. So Andrew Dunos is another Visco. It's another Visco Pixel Heart ROM. Here you go, how to play A and B buttons. So what's cool is that, technically speaking, it has auto firing, right? So you can hold down the A button, but when you can only do that to fire off your bomb. So it's going to keep dropping your bomb the whole time. It doesn't actually use your main attack because the main attack, if you hold A, it's going to be to charge your special attack whenever you pick those up. Get it taken off. So what's cool about Andrew Dunos as well too is that it's a shooter where you can change your weapon. So this is actually, I think, our third or fourth one now that actually has that ability to. Looks like Sonic every time I see that. So you can see at the top there, I've got my different weapons. I've got a normal. It's very hard to see. But yeah, so this is my normal weapon, my lasers. There we go. So I can shoot in front, behind me. You can see I'm bombing at the same time too. That's just this game. When you pick up the bomb, like I did a second ago. There's a special. Once I pick that up, I'm going to be able to charge my special attack and fire it up. So there we go. I can charge it, holding in, release, shoot it up. And your special depends on the type of weapon that you're using as well too. So right now I've got homing going, but since I don't really have any missiles, it doesn't really make sense. And this is the front, which is just I prefer just the classic laser. Doing terrible. Continue as many times as I want. There's a different one. So what's cool is, yeah, so it's a side scroller, but at the same time you got those little pits there too. So if I touched the sides of the pits there, I would have died. Gotta pay attention to your surroundings, moving forward, backwards, left, right, up, down. It's very important to say. Same rooms, a little Dune action going on. So what I just picked up is basically a little shield, so I can use that to take some hits for me. I won't subject you all to my terrible gameplay anymore. Wow, I did bad on that one. That's actually the worst I've done in that game in a while. All right, so you won't see me on the leaderboards in that game for a little while. That's fine. So that's Andrew Dunos, also available now on the store today. But yeah, I mean, Knights and Guns is kind of the main feature, of course, today too. That's what we're all here about. Those modern arcade style games. That's what we're bringing to you. That's what we like to see. More so than the retro games a little bit. Retro's fun, but I like the modern titles a lot more, of course. So let's get into. Actually, let's do a little Q&A. Anybody have any questions on the games today? The games from last week? Anything about games in general, actually, too. Besides, do I have this game or an MFL? Anything like that too? I can talk to you about that. Leaderboards for Knights. I see that question right now because I figured I was going to get asked that. The answer is no, mostly because it didn't make sense for this game. So because you would think that the Endless is like an endless kind of arcade mode, if you will, it's not. The Endless mode is really there in Knights and Guns in order to get you shekels, get you coins for progression in the campaign mode. So that's why it didn't really work out to do leaderboards for this game. And since it's not really like a level by level kind of basis for the stages to do that, it just didn't really make sense. It's just not a leaderboard type of game, even though you're sort of getting a score. It didn't work out. We looked at it for a while and played around with that, and we asked Baltoro too about it. They're like, it doesn't really work, and we're like, it kind of doesn't really work, gameplay-wise specifically. So that's why Knights and Guns doesn't really have that leaderboard. But that's okay. It's still a solid solo or couch co-op game. So I like it a lot. But yes, that's the answer to leaderboards on Knights and Guns. There is no leaderboards for that exact reason. Leaderboard in both games? No. Actually, neither one of these games today does. Andrew Dunos for a different reason. We're working on that. That's one of the games that's a little bit trickier as far as the old school arcade games go to get the leaderboards working. So that's not hooked up quite yet. Will it be in the future? Hopefully. I can't promise that, but we are looking into those games that are, broken a little bit as far as can they have leaderboard capabilities. Okay, scrolling through here. Now I got some questions. Let's see. And no, FPS drops in those games is not a normal thing, JWY. So you can send a contact at iiRcade.com with a video. Give me like video and audio and stuff like that too, and I'll probably take a look at it personally. But yes, Gunbird and Double Dragon I should say Gunbird shouldn't have slowdowns. Double Dragon does have a permanent slowdown specifically because we matched it to the arcade machine. So those of you who misremember that game a lot, the version that we have on here plays to a T, identical to the original arcade machine. I've played it myself. I know what it feels like. I played it on our machine so many times now too. We did add a slowdown for Double Dragon because it was requested so much. So we made that just like the original arcade version. So yes, we could run that game at like 60 FPS. It would just feel super, super smooth and fast. We had it like that originally. We had to dip it back down because it didn't feel like the original. So Double Dragon specifically, yes. Gunbird should not have a slowdown though. You can send me a video and stuff for Gunbird to contact at iiRcade and we can take a look at that too. But yeah, that shouldn't be happening. It's not happening on our systems as far as I know. It can be just a rare kind of software thing going on there too. So we can check that out. Yeah, shekels, of course, Brian. Always get those shekels in Knights and Guns. That's how you progress. We're going to go bring Monopoly to iiRcade. Whenever Parker Brothers comes to us or whoever owns it nowadays, maybe Hasbro has that title. I would love to have a board game arcade day. That'd be really cool. Let me see. I can't talk to you on MHL, Mutant Hockey League. No idea if that's sort of in the works. Can't really give you any info on that one, unfortunately. But yes, Mutant Hockey League would be fantastic. Let me see. Okay, going to the list. More questions. Make sure you put those asterisks and stuff with like some question marks and stuff so that I can easily find them because there's a lot going on in this chat that you guys don't see. I'm seeing 3 different feeds going on at the same time right now, right? So it's a little bit different what I see than what you guys see. Let's see. So you're holding the top 3 spots somehow. Yes, Retromania will get an update pending. I'm not quite sure when that's going to come. It's being worked on, though, by Retrosoft, yes, including, the DLCs and stuff that we're talking about. Plus, the track mode's not in yet. So, yes, there will be an update for Retromania. I'm not quite sure when it is. It should be before the end of the year, so I can really say. Hopefully soon, though. I don't know how soon, but yes, hopefully soon, because I would also like to see the update to fix that. I think I noticed that the other day, by the way, the leaderboard issue with that. Cocktail table. Technically speaking, you could reformat your kit into a cocktail table if you really wanted to right now. You have the components. You could do it. Do I suggest it? No, because it voids your warranty instantly, ripping the machine apart. But yeah, so I've actually talked to Zhang about this and making one for like my office here. But yeah, that's different. You can also, if you ever wanted to, make your own little coffee table. And then all you have to do is sort of mount a TV on the bottom side and just HDMI in the board is all you really need to do. So different way to do it. Slurpee's file size is actually only maybe 60 kilobytes, Jeff. What you're seeing is actually a bug, I believe. So there is a bug that sort of comes and goes sometimes in the software that we're still trying to pinpoint, but it's just being mislabeled within your storage space is all it is. So Slurpee is actually like maybe 30 to 60 kilobytes, I think, for the entire file package. The images for the game are larger than the game itself. So yes, that's what you're seeing there. Will that be fixed hopefully soon? We're still trying to figure out what causes that kind of, because it seems very sporadic. So sometimes you do see mislabeled arcade titles typically. So they'll try to match the install right after the install is what it seems to cause that. We're trying to figure that one out. So it's not actually taking up that much space. But yeah, so Slurpee is actually much smaller than that. You're just seeing a different number than you should be, basically. Or an extra digit. Again, still trying to figure that one out. Problem in the software. Not a huge bug. At least it doesn't actually take up the space, which is great. But yes, still a bug for sure. And we are looking into that. Ubisoft has Monopoly. What is that? Is that true? Is that real, Prince Malcolm? How? Not the maybe to the digital version. Is that what you're talking about? All right. What else we got here? Lots of questions. Ooh, best height for an arcade bar stool for iiRcade. The one that I'm sitting on right now is, I couldn't even tell you honestly, maybe 3.5 feet at its highest, maybe just under 4 feet at its highest. It's pretty low. Probably 3.5 feet sounds about right. The distance, I wish I still remember the measurements because I used to know them offhand. I don't know them offhand as far as like the height of the control panels or the floor anymore too. Somebody might know that in the chat actually even. But yeah, it's probably, if it goes to 3.5 feet tall, is probably like the maximum height that you'll need as far as the stool goes if you buy one. But yes, third-party vendor only currently. Let's see. What else do we have going down the list? Lots and lots of things going on here. Okay. Elevator action release date. No idea. Sort of, at least. I have a general idea. Still being in the works. The game itself seems to be fine. But I have to wait for Taito's approval to actually release the game, right? We play by all the rules. Taito's a good partner with us, and we have to wait for their full permission and approval to release the game, even though it's signed. But yeah, as far as I know, it's kind of working on our end. We're finding out what's going on. But yeah, soon. Hopefully soon. All I can say is soon, TM. That goes for pretty much all the Taito games, honestly. They're just waiting approval for the most part. All right, coming down the list. And yes, I know you want elevator action to Rasta and Space Invaders, so you can play Space Invaders again. Let's see. Sound to show in the menu. That's a big bug. I can flash a board. If you haven't already, Brian, you might have. I don't know. Send an email to contact@iiRcade for this issue. I would need to see for audio. I need to see a full video pretty much with audio that I can hear clearly to actually investigate the issue. I can tell you that. That shouldn't be happening at all. It should be instant once the machine turns on. And the machine should take no longer than 20 seconds at max to turn on. If you're seeing longer than that, 30 seconds at most, please let us know. because that it should not be happening as far as boot up times go. See, modern games to Gordon Lemon. Let's go, Gordon. All right. What are the chances of modern NBA Jam style game? Just depends on licensing, right? That's all it comes down to. Can we run a lot of those games? Sure. And we would love to have more like NBA Jam style games or NBA Jam. As well as the Hot Wheels Beach Buggy 2. Beach Buggy 2, Hot Wheels, I don't know. Probably not. Most likely, just due to licensing, honestly. Hot Wheels license would probably cost us, like, that's Mattel, I would assume. And that would probably cost an exuberant amount of money. And it's not really worth it, probably, for the content that we would have to pay for you guys. So basically, it would up the cost of the game for you for not as much additional content as you might want. That's probably what it would do, honestly. I can't tell you that for sure. But I don't know. We're sort of looking into things like that, of course, all the time. That one I just don't know offhand. But yeah, Hot Wheels would be cool to have, of course, on here. Hot Wheels version of Beach Buggy 2. Let me see here. Okay, more questions. All right. Keep the Q&A going. Still got more stuff, but, let's go. What is that? Cool, Josh. Welcome. In case anybody didn't know, this is the creator of Thibblerin. So there you go. That is free right now on our system. What is that little blue creation on top of the iiRcade machine back there? It looks blue in the lighting. It's actually more orangish and gray. It's just doing that with the green screen and lighting in here. That's actually one of the characters from Knights and Guns. It's a little cutout that Del Toro sent us in the press kit. So it's really fancy. I actually put it on the Facebook community group. So if you're jumping into the Facebook community, which I highly, highly recommend because the community is fantastic. It's all you guys for the most part. Anyway, but yeah, so that's just a little papercraft cutout that they gave us. So we printed one out and put it on top of the machine like 2 weeks ago, I think, to hint at the game release. But that's what that is. Yeah, so that's actually a Knight from Knights and Guns, a little papercraft thing. But yes, I posted it today in case you want. All you got to do is click on that, save the image from the iiRcade community group that I posted. You can find it. It's near the top. Guarantee it's still near the top. Click it, print it out, cut it out, fold it up, glue it if you want to, tape it if you want to. Great for kids too. But yeah, we like some papercraft in here, so we made that. Controls are 41 inches off the ground with the sand. Thank you for the measurement. I appreciate that. Triangular watermelons. Do you think Mayhem Brawler will drop in 2021? Yes. That's all I have to say on that. Yes, it will drop in 2021, Mayhem Brawlers. You heard it here first. 100% Mayhem Brawlers will drop within 2021. Stay tuned. Let's see. Oh my gosh. What else? The chat jumped so much. Okay. I see a Warhorse question if I can get to it. I want to know what this question is. Oh, RetroSoft's in today, in the house. All right, cool. If Zhang and Warhorse formed a tag team, what would they be called? Jors? I don't even know. Warjong? I feel like Warjong would probably be a solid name. I don't know. I think Zhang Horse wouldn't just make sense, but like Warjong? That could be a cool character. I mean, you'd have to have more than just face paint, though, on Warjong. Like, you'd have to have, like, full body paint, This has got to be, like, a huge outfit. Probably, like, like a grizzly kind of vest, too, probably. Maybe a horse leather vest, too. God, that'd be horrific, but awesome at the same time. Yeah, I'm going with Warjong on that one if they got combined ever into one person. Let's see. Going down the list here. Wow. You guys are active today. I like it a lot. Any more questions? We'll go to like maybe 2 more questions, and then I'll jump to the next topic. Let's see what this one is actually. Let's go, SJ. Michael, I noticed the Space Ace has the new style leaderboards, Z button. Can Dragon's Lair get the same treatment? Yes. They will. There's sort of an issue going on with me updating those particular titles, Dragon's Lair 2, and Space Ace right now, for good reason. We know what the reason is, why it's happening. We've had the version to update to. It's been done for a little while. The problem is that we need to do a system update in order to actually update those 3 particular titles, which will have that leaderboard function like you're talking about right now. So yes, we're working on that. After the next update, I can update those games properly so that your system can update those games properly, basically, is what's going to go down. And then you'll see the leaderboards properly for them with the Z button like you're talking about. So yep, that's good catch. Good catch. Okay, what else we got? Here we go. Last one I'll take for now. Let's see. Any plans for full decals for control panels or any cosmetic mods? Sort of. Again, we're always trying to update the systems, and customizability and things like that, of course, are what we want as much as possible. We're looking into different options, but what we can do, currently with the status of the machine, we'll see. We're playing around with different options. What that might look like in the end, I don't know. It's not going to be for a while, so I can guarantee that a while-ish. But we're always looking into ways to improve the machine, and decals. Of course, we always look at decals and how the machine looks, which skins people are buying, things like that. Of course, we get that user data all the time. So yeah, there's always going to be more options, and we are definitely looking into decals, skins, different things like that all the time. All right, one more here. Tad lower, the notch, it would lock in. You're right, Molar Medic. I hope you have great teeth. I'm just saying. I really hope you have fantastic chompers. Maybe fix mine a little bit. If the marquee was a tad lower with a notch, it could lock in. Are you talking about? Not quite sure what you're talking about here. You might be talking about the glass or just a bezel in general, right? This bezel? This is what you're talking about here? Mine's a misprint, by the way, too. This is a very old version of the machine. That's why you might see some light bleeding up here with my little mod in there. But if you're talking about the bezel, what I can tell you is the answer is not to bring this down, but it's to push in the control panel before you screw it in. We're working on ways to improve that still, of course, but it should lock into place pretty tight, and it shouldn't be moving a lot. Plus, it should just be, unless you're touching it, I don't know why it would be moving otherwise anyway. It should be stationary in place, unless your machine's in an earthquake zone maybe, or like your cats are knocking it from the back a lot. I don't really know. But yeah. Okay. Okay, sorry, looking at these questions. Taito games in 2021? Probably, yes. I would assume that they'll be done shortly. So I can say on Taito games. All right, but moving on to the next topic, because I said one more question. I think I went for like 2 or 3. So let's see. We talked about nicknames last week on the leaderboards. Oh, duh, of course. Games you might have missed. My favorite topic, actually. So let me actually pull up my first game you might have missed, which is somewhere. I have videos. I swear I have videos on here. Okay, it's actually, bam, there we go. Heroes of Loot 2 and 1, actually 2. So Heroes of Loot 1 and 2 are both on the store right now too. Sorry, my video is probably playing a little choppy in here. My internet is not the best when I close the door and have 5 things running. But Heroes of Loot, it does run much smoother than this. I can probably kill the sound if it's hurting you guys a little bit there because it's hurting me to watch. But Heroes of Loot 2 is a dungeon crawler game. You can play as different characters. In the first one, you only have a single character control. In the second game, Heroes of Loot 2, you can actually play, they're co-op in both, but co-op also has, each player can play as 2 characters. So you actually can be like a wizard and a warrior, or like a wizard and an archer, things like that, different combinations with different characters. It's fantastic. If you're looking for like a sort of classic Gauntlet style game, actually, too. You're going around collecting keys, killing enemies, just hack and slash Diablo style, just working your way through, action-packed, getting different upgrades, getting different abilities, casting different spells, using different weapons, unlocking doors, beating bosses. But yeah, classic kind of dungeon crawler style of game. If you're looking for that, pick it up. It's in the featured section right now. Heroes of Loot 1 and 2. Next one I want to talk about here. Actually, which one do I want to go to? Let's go to this one, actually. Bam. All you classic game lovers. Blockout, in case you've missed it, is also in the store. So games you might have missed. Blockout, it's basically, if you were to play Tetris from a computer's perspective, you're probably going to hear him yelling at me right now. Yep, there he is. So Blockout is basically a Tetris-style kind of game. And yeah, like I said, you're basically the one dropping the blocks and placing them instead of them coming more frequently. So the faster you move, the more points you get, things like that too. Of course, you're going to get different sizes of blocks. It's kind of fun to play in this. I guess it isn't necessarily top-down. I just think about it that way in my mind. It's actually, you're forcing the blocks forward, right? In a 3-dimensional style space, which was great for the time too. I believe this game came out in 1989, which is pretty stellar for the time, honestly. But yes, this is a 3D kind of Tetris game. It is available. It's been available on the store since probably, maybe January, maybe February. Can't remember, honestly. It's been a while, though. But yes, highly suggest if you're looking for like a sort of weird Tetris style kind of game, Blackout. Blackout is in the featured game section at the top right now as well. And then, of course, I always do 3 games for games you might have missed in good fashion. Let's add this one to the stream. Legends of Silk Road. So Legends of Silk Road and Legends of Silk Road 2 coming soon. Legends of Silk Road is a classic kind of beat 'em up, hack 'em slash kind of game too. Sort of a 3-dimensional style there, as you can see. This one took a little bit more to run, but if you're looking for a good beat 'em up RPG style kind of game too, before I drop Raston on you, Legend of Silk Road. Again, it's in the top featured section right now too. It'll be there all week for you to swoop up if you want it. Highly suggested. I know my video is running super slow right now. It doesn't run like this on the cab, I promise that. But yeah, there we go. Video's picking up a little bit, maybe. So yeah, there's 3 different characters to choose from. Oh my gosh. Monmu, Khan, and I forget the other character's name, but she's fantastic as well. But yeah, sort of a Night Slashers kind of style game too. If you haven't checked out Night Slashers, that's the other one. But these are the games you might have missed. So that was Heroes of Loot 1 and 2, Blackout, as well as Legend of Silk Road. Really, Legends of Silk Road. Sorry about that. Let me full screen. There we go. Back at you. So those are the games you might have missed for the week. Other topics to talk about today on top of questions. Out of minutes. Somebody's out of minutes. Sweet. I wish that was the thing anymore. I have missed everything in the chat, but it looks like it's popping right now too. Yes. The thing is that Shredder's Revenge isn't even out yet. Remember, that game got delayed. So, who knows what's going on with Shredder's Revenge. Just saying. Any updates on Mutant Football League today? So, Unstable Gamer, in case you missed it, I actually talked about this in the first part of the show, and Jean talked about it yesterday. Mutant Football League cabs, we're doing a limited run print. If you have pre-ordered, you can either keep your order. You should have gotten an email yesterday explaining all this, of course, too, if you pre-ordered. But otherwise, you can still pre-order the MFL cab until next Friday at 5 p.m. Chicago time, CST. 5 p.m. CST next Friday is the last date that you can get your hands on a Mutant Football League cab. That's it. Anybody who's pre-ordered, if you have pre-ordered, you can also have the option of switching over for the exact same sale price, or we'll refund you the amount of the difference essentially too. So that's how that works right now too. You should have gotten all that information if you did pre-order, but if not, you can still actually order that cab again until Friday next week at 5 p.m. here. And then after that, it's done. We're printing only the ones that we have orders for, and that's it for now. So that's how that's going to go. The game is on indefinite delay, and that's sort of the end of that one. But yeah, we talked about that a little earlier. Let me see here. Yeah, it's fine. You cannot order the MFL cab. Let me fix this then. I noticed that you cannot order the MFL cab for those who want to. It says sold out. Thank you, Mike. We will be on that extremely soon. Bryant, if you're watching, get on it because that's your job. I think Bryant's in the chat somewhere. Anyway, but yes, we will fix that. If you can't pre-order or can't still pre-order, we'll fix that then for sure. Thank you for letting me know, Mike. Also, fantastic name, of course. Mike's got to stick together. So, other things, let's see. Featured games. So, I'm going to start doing featured game weeks, usually by theme also. So, that featured game category that you see at the top of the store will be changing a lot more frequently now. I know it's kind of been stagnant and sort of getting changed every now and then. But keep an eye on that. So I'm going to be theming it every week, and I'll probably just mention it on Friday because that's when I'm going to change it. So it'll be around until next Friday. This week's theme is actually just sports, which is not too crazy. Standard sports themes, but I'll be throwing some interesting themed weeks at you for, again, just cycling through those games that you might have missed, games you just might want to pick up. But yeah, so the theme this week is sports, so you'll see a lot of sports games. Of course, 10-yard fights in there for football season. We got soccer going on right now too, or, other football if you want. So that's there. We've got, the basketball games are up there right now too. Street Hoop, I believe I put in there too. We've also got Hoops 96, which I'm not sure which one I put. I did swap them. We've also got Goal for soccer, of course. Goal and Big Strikers is both in there. On top of some other things too. Of course, Heavy Smash I keep in the sports category because it's super competitive. So that's in there. But yeah, so that's the way that the featured game releases are going to cycle through each week. We'll theme them each week, and I'll keep changing them. Again, we've got some fun different themed weeks coming for you too, just to rotate the games around in case you miss things. And with that as well too, I want to talk about we do have an update to the store coming very very soon. It's not today, unfortunately, but the features are pretty much they're all there. So this update is going to include a search feature on the store. The long sought after search feature is finally going to be there, as well as just a lot more UX UI design kind of things that are going to change up for the web browser, especially. The load time is going to be much faster. Search functionality as well as filtering functionality too is getting added, so there'll be a filter function to search for games better that way. But the search functionality works phenomenally. We've already been testing it out and stuff like that too. It's already built and it's pretty much ready to go. We just have some minor bugs to fix, so that'll be coming at you soon. Maybe next week, maybe the week after. Likely, at least I can say that. So yes, search will be there, and the web browser version will look much better too. It won't be as mobile based, if you will. So the web browser version will look more of a web browser version, right? So it won't just list things in a single column and stuff like that too. You won't have to scroll to click; it'll just list it out, and you can just click them naturally. Whereas the Android or just phone browser based version too for iOS. Those will work pretty much the same as far as like scrolling and swiping and stuff, just with improvements. And the speed is so much faster, by the way, too. All those images trying to load at once too. We fixed all those issues with that basically. So our engineers are fantastic. And so the store is going to work better basically. And then we've got, of course, we're going to keep updating the store after that too. This is not the last update to the store. However, keep an eye out for that. So we'll probably announce that next week. And we'll definitely let you guys know on the live streams whenever that is actually officially out. But you'll see an update, of course, for the app if you're using the app for Android. And then the web-based version, of course, just you go to the site iiRcade.store and it will just update automatically. Cool. So that is the deal with the store update as well. So I want to talk about that. That's pretty much it, actually. We talked about the games. We can do some more Q&A, but otherwise, that's pretty much it for today. Pretty chill day. I was really stoked on Knights and Guns being released, so I hope you all were too. Let's see, going down the list. Can do a couple more things for Q&A before I head out for the day. Do, of course, have more work to do. P-Dubs. What is this? P-Dubs Arcade Loft. All right. Rumors are swirling that a big title previously announced will be launching on the store next Tuesday. Can you confirm this, Michael? I cannot confirm or deny any big launches. Knights and Guns was a pretty big launch for us. But yeah, you can always stay tuned. Tune in on Tuesdays, of course, to watch Zhang. I don't think I've ever been on Tuesday stream, actually. Maybe I have. But watch Zhang, and Colin should be there this Tuesday as well, too. So that's at 3 p.m. CST on Tuesdays. You can watch that on our YouTube channel, on the Facebook channel. You can also technically watch it on Twitch. So I do have some people who tune in on Twitch, which is awesome. But yes, so stay tuned, of course, on Tuesdays. I cannot confirm or deny a big release on Tuesday. Let's see, about how many games does the iiRcade have now? We're slowly approaching 300 now. So we quickly hit that 100 mark on the early days, right? When we're releasing like 10 plus games a week in huge batches. Slowed down clearly since then too, but we're still releasing games every Friday, which is fantastic. We still got more games coming in, of course. We still got games in the list, like title games that are already just games keep coming in, which is great. That's all we need. But yes, we're slowly approaching 300 now. I think we're at 260 something officially with the preloaded games included in that. I think we're at like 267, 268. I can check that out soon though. So good question. Thank you, Josh. Let's see here. Zone Blaster coming out soon. I can't speak on Zone Blaster. It's up to Bash for Zone Blaster. Let's see. I was very impressed. Identified. Reading at the same time. Right. Question. Thank you, Ricardo Castro. Name I haven't actually seen before, so welcome to the family if you're new here. I don't know. I could just miss your name all the time, too. I'm sorry if I do. I apologize. Question, I was very impressed with how Dead Effect 2 performed on the system. Will other FPS games be released on iiRcade? AVP, Doom, Quake, etc. Well, as somebody who's worked for a company who made Doom and Quake and everything like that, I can't really speak for them. Maybe. Original Doom would be cool, and I hear that it's open source. So we'll see. Doom, I think, is open source nowadays for original Doom, and I think original Wolfenstein as well is actually open source. So we'll see. We might need to. We've sort of looked into that in the past. So we'll see about that. But a game like Doom, running on the Switch and stuff, it's still pretty processor heavy. It's pretty GPU heavy as well too. we'll see. We're probably powerful enough to run Doom in the Switch version, I should say. We'll see. It takes a lot. I remember when I was at Bethesda, watching the game get ported over by id, and it was a lot. Wolfenstein 2 as well too. New Colossus, I should say. Wolfenstein was also ported over to Switch, so we'll see. But those partnerships take a long time with AAA companies, even new AAA companies too. It takes a long time no matter what. So even if we magically start talking to them instantly, it's not going to be like an instant overnight kind of deal too. There's still always going to be a porting process, even though it might not be too hard. It could just be changing button layouts and stuff. That's easy stuff to do. But we still have to monitor different things, aspect ratio, resolution, of course, and just performance in general. Who knows what kind of dips we might have versus them, where they dip. Yeah, but yeah, no, of course we can think about more games like that too. I'm glad that you're liking the FPS, because that was sort of a cool experiment of a game, was having an FPS on an arcade machine with 12 buttons and 2 joysticks is a lot, plus the start buttons, right? But yeah, we'll see. We're definitely looking into more games like that and more experimental titles, right? So we're never trying to limit the games on the system. We would love to have more fun, different FPSs like that too. And I'm a big FPS guy myself. If you didn't know, I'm so excited for Halo Infinite coming out, but that's just me. Yeah, so thanks for the question, Ricardo. Great. Can I nerf Gene? I would love to nerf Gene, except not. Gene has every game, so why would I ever nerf Gene if that's the same Gene that we're talking about here? Oh my gosh, there's so many questions that I missed in this chat there. You guys are very active today. I appreciate it. Okay. Prince Malcolm, stay tuned on that. I can't speak for that right now. But we have a good partnership with Baltoro. We think they seem to like us. We seem to like them. So yeah, more games can always come out of these partnerships like Knights and Guns for Baltoro. That's not off the table at all. They have, in case you guys haven't checked out their catalog of games too, you can head over to baltorogames.com. Their website is chock full of games. They publish and produce a ton of games, and they've got some really cool ones. They've got some basketball ones. They've got some sports ones. They've got some just overall cool arcade games too. And they're on all different platforms. So in case you do want more Baltoro games, feel free to check out their website. I highly encourage it. But yes, partnerships like that, we would love to always continue to keep getting their amazing titles. Doors never shut. Let's see. Do you foresee a big multiple game release day in the very near future? Gordon, that's a hard question for me. You know, as the one who sort of controls release schedules, this is a very hard question. Maybe. All I can say is stay tuned. The holidays are coming up, everybody. Keep that in mind. We'll see. We'll see what kind of things that we have cooking for the holidays. But yes, I don't know. Maybe. I don't like to release multiple big games at once, right? So we'll see. Mostly, well, we used to sort of do that. We sort of found that spacing that's a little better. Plus, we like to give our game publishers and game developers time to let them simmer and cook for marketing, right? So we like to see them on the store with as much visibility, the highest rate as possible, for the longest amount of time as possible too. So that's sort of a promise that we make to our developers, and we kind of stick to that. So if I release a ton of big games at the same time on the same day, it doesn't get as much exposure as it would if I just released a single game and then released another single game. However, of course, we like to pepper in different titles at the same time, right? So if we have like a big arcade style game at the same time that I have like a big modern title, maybe we put them both in the same week, maybe. Depends on how spicy I'm feeling, you know? It's a good question, though. These are always things, of course, that we're playing around with. This is not, I'm not saying yes or no on that. It's not, I won't ever not release two big titles or multiple big title releases at the same time. I'm not saying I will or I won't. There are always things that are on our mind, of course, too. So, yeah, it's a good question. Gunbird 2. Stay tuned on Gunbird 2. We're working on it. It's a little bit harder on the performance side sometimes for a couple of different reasons. So Gunbird 2 is not quite Gunbird 1. But yes, it's still in the works. Gunbird 2 is not going anywhere. We love our Psycho shooters especially, right? Nobody has these Psycho shooters but us, which is great, which is weird because these games are fantastic. Psycho's shooters, they're like every single one's a banger. So I love it. But yes, Gunbird 2 is still in the works. Roblox would be interesting. I don't know how well it will work honestly, in the long run. Not every game works in an arcade style. Not every game works in a console style, honestly, either. And not every game works in a PC style. Usually PC is fine because you can just connect a controller if you really want to, right? But yes, so games like that, maybe. Like, do you want to play like Minecraft on an arcade machine? Maybe. I'm not saying no. We think about these things, again, all the time with games, especially. Quake soundtrack was epic. Of course it is. Thank you. And again, Casey, happy birthday, King Creole. Everybody wish Dominic a happy birthday if you haven't already. Quake would be amazing. All right, I'll probably let's go with like 3 more questions before we call it a day. And then I'll let you guys play Knights and Guns this weekend. Check out those other fine titles, of course, in the store. If Knights and Guns isn't just for you, that's fine. Check out Andrew Dunos. Or, Heroes of Loot 1 and 2. Or Blockout, because I love Blockout. Let's see here. Questions going on the list. I'll take 3 more. Maybe a little more. We'll see. Ronsky. Is this Ronsky Bronsky? Have you changed your name, Ronsky Bronsky? Is this you? I need to know. Or do I have 2 Ronskys? I feel like there's no way I have 2 Ronskys. It's got to be Ronsky Bronsky. Are you guys talking about online play in 2020? Online play has pretty much always been something on our minds since the start, right? So we'll see. Stay tuned on that one. I cannot speak on online play, but stay tuned on that. Of course, we know the features that you all ask for all the time. We have an open ear, we have an open mind, we have an open heart. But yes, so of course we are always looking into phenomenal features. Online play, stay tuned. I cannot say it's coming or not currently. But yeah, keep in mind too, with online play, servers are a big monster. It takes money, a lot of money to run servers. It takes games that can connect to them. It takes the developer connecting their game to your server too. It is not an instantaneous process, even by today's standards. So connecting arcade games to a server is one thing. Connecting modern games to a server has to be done specifically by the developer. It's a different process entirely. They're 2 different things. They can work off of the same server. But yes, servers do cost money, takes time, takes developer commitments, takes developer money. So yeah, that's a big, long and short of online, how it works sort of thing too. There's a lot of reasons. But yes, of course, online play is something that we would love to see on the iiRcade for every game, not just Bomb Squad or a few select titles. We'd love to see it for every game. That'd be amazing. So also a good question. Wow, there's a lot here. Okay. Open that checkbook. That's right. Well, the more people who buy games and the more people who buy systems, the more money we make, right? Which means the more features that you can get. So yes, it does help to advertise for us, technically speaking. Online play is complex and expensive. Yes, thank you, Cool Josh. Agreed. Yes, we know. Of course. So yes, as a developer, Cool Josh knows, especially too. Beach Buggy Online versus mode. Yes, I know. I would love it as well, too. Maybe that could get us to Hot Wheels version of Beach Buggy Racing 2. Who knows? Math munchers. I'm just going to keep this up because I like this a lot. All right, let's go. 2 more questions. I know there's a bunch that I kind of missed, too. If I missed your question, go ahead and spam it again right now. That's my fault. It's hard to see in this chat all the time. I apologize. Ooh. Gunther firing shots again at me. I competed a little bit in Congo Bongo, and then I lost time because I had to work on some other games for you guys for the system. Maybe. I believe Summer League is over. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this was the final week of Summer League. Or can I still compete? Is it still going on until Thursday? I missed it. It was Thursday was the last day of Summer League, right? Pretty sure. But yes, I need to take my throne back from Mr. Jerry. Mr. Jerry has thrown down the white glove, of course, too. He's not even thrown down a white glove. He's thrown down like 5 different white gloves, I feel like, at this point that I just got to dethrone him on. But when I find the time, it's happening. So, Mr. Jerry, if you're watching, I'm coming for you. Come for those scoreboards. Hidden iiRcade cabinets. I would like to see this hidden iiRcade cabinets that you speak of. You can advertise for free with my Comic-Cons. Ooh. Dave, maybe I can pick you up on that. We'll see. I always like free advertising. Needs a game show. Prince Malcolm, I would just have you host my game show. Live from DC. I'll fly back to DC. All right. Casino games. This is a question that is rarely asked, weirdly enough. Maybe for good reason. Because casino games are highly addictive and I don't necessarily approve of them. I've worked for a casino game company at one point in my life and didn't necessarily condone the practices of the math involved behind the gameplay. Depends. It all depends on the game, right? And when you're not betting real money on a machine. Will there ever be a betting system for iiRcade? Probably not. I'm not going to condone betting with it. That's why there's a whole legal matter there that goes on. But casino games, maybe there might be some in the works right now. That's, again, all I can say is maybe on the games that are coming, but stay tuned on that. Do we look into casino games? Yes, we do. It is fun to sometimes just mindlessly spam like the trigger, right? To just be like pressing the joystick. Not a bad thing sometimes. Maybe I'll make my own casino game after Zhang Pong is done. Who knows? Maybe I'm already working on one. You don't know, Jeff. You don't know my life outside of work, even though you know that I'm just working outside of work all the time. But yes, casino games, maybe. All right, let's go. 2 more questions. I can't count. 1 more question, 2 more questions. Did I miss any questions? Spam me now. Final thoughts. Get them in now. I love your guys' comments right now. It's fantastic to watch. Open a merch store. This is an interesting comment, too. Don't you worry. We think about these things all the time. I would love to always keep different revenues going. You play casino games? Yeah, of course you will. New pinball games. Bonnie Bullock. That's a name I haven't seen before, too. So, again, hi, welcome to the family if you're new here. If I've just missed you, I apologize. Definitely a name I haven't seen before. So, cool. New pinball games. So, in case you've missed it, in case you didn't know, Jetpin is up there. So, Jetpin is a more modern style arcade game. I call it Spinball because it's like Sonic Spinball. You're progressing through a level. It's got some updates and things like that, too. It's running great. So Jetpin Arcade is up on the store. You can find that in the arcade section of the store. Again, that's Jetpin Arcade. And then we've also got Panic Road is available as well, too, for people who want to make user-generated content. We call that UGC for short. That is uploaded to a different YouTube channel, which you can actually find on our YouTube channel. But in case you find people posting, I keep forgetting it. I believe it's just iiRcade UGC. I should know this. I'm very apologetic that I don't know this right now. But yes, in case you want Panic Road, that is another pinball type of game, and you can get it for free on the system by simply making, a game review, a full system review, any kind of review that you want, honestly, for iiRcade. And then all you have to do is post it on the YouTube channel that I can find and let you know what that is. But in case you see people posting in the Facebook community page, you can always find people posting it there, and you can actually get linked kind of through there. All you have to do is submit it, or just submit it through iiRcade.com. That's kind of a decent deal too. Or not iiRcade.com, sorry, contact at iiRcade.com too, and I'll find it and I'll figure it out. But yes, you can get, that is our other pinball game, would be Panic Road instead of Jetpin if you want that game for free. And Jetpin's clearly a reasonable price too. I believe it's still $10 on the store for Jetpin, which I highly suggest. I love Jetpin. Different style game. More pinball games coming? I don't know. Stay tuned on that. Stern is right down the street, right? That would be a cool partnership. But do you want to play arcade, or do you want to play pinball games on an arcade? It's always a hit or miss topic with people, right? It's up to your preference. That's pretty much it. In case you didn't know, I play Jetpin the way that I sort of designed the control scheme for the game, with the A button and the C button on the opposite side is actually how I do it. So I'm actually different, or the A and the A button. So I play like this sort of close-ish. Since we don't have side panels, of course, I can't play like a real arcade machine, and there's no feedback on it like a metal arcade machine. So arcade games, pinball games do work on our machine. However, it's a different feel than real pinball. And I myself am like a real pinball kind of guy too. Like I want like steel. So I want to be able to shake the machine. But that's just a personal preference. So we can always look for more pinball games though. Absolutely. One more question. I think I missed a ton actually while I was talking. So iiRcade pinball officially in the works. Maybe. One more question. Somebody hit me with a question. Let's see. If you release MFL, I'm still releasing the cabinet for MFL. Night and pinball. Interesting concept. I see that one too. All right. Rally bike. Yes. I'm pretty sure Rally Bike is on the store right now. I'm going to tell you right now. I can literally look it up. iiRcade.store. Let me load in here. Rally Bike. We do have a couple different rally games for sure. Like Rally Big Run. I know Rally Big Run's on the store. Oh my goodness. Rally Bike is going to be under racing, guaranteed. Rally Big Run. There's World Rally 2, Neo Drift Out of Course 2. Moto Race USA is close. So Rally Bike is not on the store yet. I just couldn't remember, honestly. There's probably a reason for that. I can find out why. There's a couple of games that I know the reason for. And it's sort of licensing, sort of issues with not getting games to run properly because they sort of already run isn't the issue. It's more like editing games a little bit. But yes, so Rally Bike was promised for sure. It's still on the games list. It's not going anywhere. It's just like Umber 2. It's just not out yet. But yes, so we'll work on Rally Bike. All right. Good question. Yes, any of the games that you've seen on the previous list and stuff like that too, they're all still in the works, guaranteed. They're not going to be removed as far as I know. I can promise that. Tiger Heli is the same way, Gene. I see Tiger Heli. I get asked about Tiger Heli pretty often as well too. Tiger Heli, I believe, is in the same boat as Rally Bike, actually. There's a specific reason for that. I can't necessarily say why. Road Rash is one of my favorite games of all time. Specifically the Sega Genesis or Sega Game Gear versions. There's a couple different versions on Genesis. But yes, I would love to have that. And we do have Sega partnerships, so we'll see. All right, that is it. I'm at my time limit for the day, probably. That's pretty much it. Yeah, okay. I got to get back to work too, of course. But yeah, I will play you guys out with some Knights and Guns. Again, be sure to tune in on Tuesday. I think you guys will be pleasantly surprised on Tuesday because, of course, we're probably going to release the store update on Tuesday, and I know everybody wants the store update. So stay tuned on that. Keep an eye on Near Out. We're getting tons of things going on right now. Of course, holidays coming up. So keep an eye out for pretty much everything going on here at iiRcade, where there's a lot of things in the works right now. Of course, as always, right? So, and then games you might have missed, make sure check out Heroes of Loot 1 and 2 in case you missed them. Block Out, of course, if you want a more Tetris-style game, or just really, it's just a cool little 80s arcade game, honestly. I love it for that fact. With the machine, with the Android AI, just not Android, but the computer AI just yelling at you the entire time. I like it a lot. And of course, Android Dunos, Knights and Guns on the store. Pick up Legends of Silk Road, sports-themed week this week for the featured games on the store. And then, yes, yeah, of course I would love to see Ninja Turtles too. I keep seeing Ninja Turtles in the chat. Stop asking me about Ninja Turtles. It's not even out yet. The game hasn't even released. It's not even released until next year on all platforms for Shredder's Revenge. So .emu announced that. But yes. All right. Stay tuned. Next week, I will play you all out with some fun videos here. If I can ever find them. I believe the sound on this one might be a little loud, so keep your eyes and ears open. But you might need to turn it down a little bit. I think this might need some adjustment. But yeah. All right. Have a good night, everybody. Have a good rest of your day. Happy Friday. Enjoy the games for the weekend. If neither of these games are to your liking, of course, I'm sure there's something of the liking on your store. There's almost 300 games there now, so pick and choose what you will. It's a la carte games. That's how we roll here. Find what you like. Find what you don't like. You can always have a 30-minute window to demo as well, too. Keep in mind. All right. And with that, on that note, see you next week.
Hi, we're Baltoro.
And this is a teaser of our next game.
So, you're a knight with a gun.
Lots of guns.
And here is a but.
The only way you can shoot is up.
Knights and Guns.